Have you ever thought about your life like it's a movie? Like there's this big stadium, you're out on the field trying to figure everything out. And in the stands, there's this huge crowd watching you live at all times in real time. Sometimes I think about what they'd be yelling at me. Some people would be screaming, "Shoot the ball!" Or "Tell her how you feel. Stop pretending you don't care when you know you do." And there'd be others who say, "Slow down. Stop trying to rush your life. You don't have to have it all together at 19 years old." And maybe a couple of them would probably be frustrated with me. Why do you doubt yourself so much? You're so much better than you think you are. Wake up. Somewhere in that crowd, I think there'd be a softer voice. Someone not necessarily yelling, but just watching. Saying things like, "He's been through a lot. He's still healing. He's trying his best." Because, yeah, I've messed up. I've been stubborn. I didn't always listen. Life hit me hard. Surgeries, heartbreak, growing up too fast. And sometimes I didn't respond the right way. But the crowd won't always see every single private moment. They don't see the nights you lay there replaying everything in your head. They don't see you trying to become a better person, even when you fall short. And honestly, sometimes I do switch sides. Sometimes I'm the one yelling at myself from the stands. Like, why would you say that? Why didn't you fight harder for that? Why didn't you just appreciate what you had? But lately, I've been trying to become the guy in the crowd who says, "It's okay. He's learning. He's trying to better himself. He'll get there. He just needs time." Because if my life really was a movie, it's still in the middle somewhere. The character development phase, the plot twists, the hard lessons along the way, and the main character, well, he's still trying to figure out who he wants to become. He's still trying to be better. He's still trying to heal and trying to love the right way. And if you're watching this, maybe your crowd is yelling at you too. Maybe some people are cheering you on, maybe others don't believe in you. Maybe the loudest voice is your own. But here's the thing that movies don't always remind us. The story isn't over yet. You still have time to grow. You still have time to change and to rewrite who you are, or to become the person that you are proud of. And honestly, if the people in the stands could see what you carry every single day, they would probably be yelling one thing louder than anything else. You're doing so much better than you think. If my life was a movie, I feel like the crowd would be losing their minds right now. They would be standing up out of their seats, like screaming, "Stop letting everybody walk over you. Open your eyes. You love her. You're not the bad guy. You just never learned how to love yourself yet." Or, "Can you please just realize you're worth something?" And maybe there would be that one older dude who's seen this movie before, with his arms crossed, just shaking his head like he's just gonna keep breaking his own heart until he finally decides he deserves peace. Because from the outside, looking in, my story probably looks obvious. The patterns, the heartbreak, the consistent trying, the way I keep fighting for people who already stopped fighting for me, the way I smile like everything is okay, even when I'm breaking in half on the inside. The audience would see it all. They'd see the late nights where I tell myself I'm fine. They'd see the I'm okay text that really means please don't leave, or they'd see the way I replay memories like an old movie scene, wishing that I could go back and say the right words or be the right version of me. And they'd be yelling at me, this is the part where you grow. Don't mess it up. Stop living like you're the extra in your own damn movie. Start loving yourself like you love everybody else. And they'd be so frustrated, emotional, maybe rooting for me, because the crazy part about it is I don't think the crowd would hate me. I think they'd just be tired of watching me hurt. They'd see the kid who went through way more than he's ever talked about. The guy who laughs through the pain, the guy who tries to fix everybody else while he quietly falls apart. The guy who had surgery, got knocked down, kept pretending he was fine, and never really slowed down long enough to heal. They'd be yelling things like, he doesn't need to be perfect. He just needs to be honest with himself and stop chasing people who don't know how to love him. Please just choose you for once. And maybe there'd be a few tears in the crowd, because they wouldn't just be watching my story. They'd be seeing their own. And that's the thing. That's the main point I'm trying to get. We are all kind of the main character. But most of us like to live like we're in the background. We just keep waiting for life to start. Like, this is just the trailer to the movie. But this, right here, right now, you're living in the movie. In the crowd, they're begging you to wake up, to heal, to forgive yourself, to finally move forward. Because yeah, I've messed up, I've hurt people, lives hurt me back, I'm sure you all have too. But I believe that they'd still be rooting for us. Because deep down, I'm still just a kid who means well. I'm still just a guy who loves hard. I'm still just someone worth cheering for. And honestly, so are you. And honestly, sometimes I picture the scene in my head. Me stuck in the middle of my own story, stressing about things that movie me would figure out in the last 20 minutes. And the people on the couch would be like, why are you overthinking everything? Just try. You're not a villain. You're just hurt. Things of that nature. And I think about it a lot because when you're in the movie, everything feels so loud. It feels final. It feels like if this part doesn't go right, the whole story is ruined. But the people watching, they know that there's so much more time left. They can see the character development loading in the background, and they know you're not hopeless, even when the main character might feel like it. They see a kid who got hurt, who messed up, who loved too hard, who lost himself for a while, but still wakes up trying to be better. And maybe the audience knows something I don't. That healing doesn't look cinematic. If anything, it looks like learning from your mistakes instead of repeating them. It looks like forgiving yourself slowly. And maybe they're not yelling because they're mad necessarily, but because they care. Because they want the character to finally realize he deserves peace and rest. He deserves to stop hating himself for being a human. And I hope one day I can sit on the same couch and rewatch this part of my life and finally say, yes, he made it. I'm sorry if this video didn't make much sense. If you're still here listening, I just wanted to say thank you. Seriously, I don't take that lightly. I know you've got your own story and your own battles you go through, your own scenes, let's stay on theme, I guess, that don't quite make sense yet. And if nobody has ever told you this or you haven't heard it in a while, you're doing better than you think. You're not falling behind. You're just in the middle of the movie. And somewhere out there, if people were watching your life from a couch or a stadium, they'd be rooting for you too. They would be screaming so loud, cheering you on. Maybe that's just the whole point, right? We don't always get to step off the court and hear the crowd explain the lessons to us. Sometimes we've got to be the ones yelling encouragement to ourselves, even if our voice is shaky. So if no one said it to you lately, I want to reiterate, you are doing better than you think. Keep going every single day. The game's not finished until it's over. The movie's still rolling. I believe in you. Thank you again. And as always, stay rolly. Editor's note, I would like to say thank you all for your continuous support on TikTok and YouTube. You guys are going crazy. I love reading all your comments.